Hey, welcome back to Boonhae Hosinsul Practical Applications for our patterns, ITF specific. We're looking at Won-Hyo again. We're almost finished. We're about halfway through. This is part 5. We're looking at the third twin forearm block, followed by the inward strike knife hand and the outward punch to fixed stance. We've gone over this one 2 times already with different variations. This will be the third one. I might move off of number 4 because we already have 2 variations. This will be number 3 variations of the technique that are different from each other. And other than repetition within the pattern, I don't see any purpose that needs to be brought on several times within the pattern. But I found the video that I put beforehand. Through Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, they posted a video of a woman being either taken out of a Lowe's or taken out of a Home Depot by her wrists, like this. Just this way, being brought out. She's skidding her feet, trying to stop the person. I don't have any other information. Maybe she knew him. Maybe they were a couple together, or it was an argument or something like that. But she's clearly working there, and he dragged her out. And in a pretty large store, nobody paying attention, but he did get her almost out of the store, if not out of the store. I don't know exactly. I just saw the technique, and that's what we're going off of today. Because if you look at it, you think to yourself, well, she's an idiot. But the main thing that I clarified is real life situations. So like when I explain it like a deer in a headlight situation, or a fear freezing type of thing. So where just because you think you know what's going to happen, the famous Mike Tyson line, right? Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. Well, it's the same thing as like self-defense. If she knew this person, was she expecting him to hurt her or drag her out there? Maybe it was just a minor altercation, but it doesn't mean that she should allow him to do that. Or if it's a real situation where he's trying to abduct her and bring her away, is she freaking out and her body freezes up and tenses and she's scared because, this is a potential threat? And is he so much stronger than her that when he pulls this together, it's very hard, takes everything down to where I can, if we really want to go over it, Megan's not as small as this woman was, like she was a tiny girl, but if I pinch my arms down and I squeeze this to Megan's chest, we could probably go pretty far, without being able to do something, And then what then? If Megan doesn't escape, but she tries to pull her arms away, what's stopping me from wrapping her up, picking her up, and carrying her out the door? Or from this, pulling her to the ground, grabbing her by her hair or legs, and then pulling. Then we have an even worse situation to where you have to defend yourself on the ground, either by kicking the person, creating a scene, which then hopefully somebody will grab, or way worse, dragging them by the hair on the floor. So yeah, I don't know too much about it. I'm just practicing off of the technique that I saw. And as you see, if I really pin everything down, it's very hard to escape the situation unless you have some type of way to off balance the person. So the arms are in. I need to create a space to get them out, away from. Okay? So that's what we're looking at today. So in the video, you can see that he has more hips are forward and everything like this. But in my opinion, this actually weakens myself. So if I put my legs like this and carrying like this, I feel like this weakens my actual walk instead of me overbearing on top of her, trying to push her forward. I feel stronger in that than I do trying to counter her weight this way. Okay. So I'm going to go with the stronger one instead of the idiot method, okay? Because if you can defend against the stronger one, you can defend against the idiot one much easier, okay? All right, so I'm pinning the arms in, or even it was started like this, but as I said, I'm going to go stronger variation. So here, instead of moving our foot outward, within the pattern, here, finishing my spear, and I'm coming in, pulling, prepping myself for my twin arm. This is basically the set. Megan or whomever can cross their hands if they feel like it, or maybe the hands are pinned inside already, right? So here, we're gonna cross, step out, okay? Twin forearm block, and then we're following through with our knife hand strike, and then following through with our fixed stance, straight punch, okay? I'm gonna move Megan forward. As I'm pushing her, she needs to find balance and move, okay? Pressing the hands off, one more time. Moving her hips out, out. Same facing way, the only difference is you're not stepping forward. You can do this multiple ways. If I was strong enough, and it's, let's say we're practicing my right side, maybe I move my body away this way, or other way, if I'm practicing my right, palm this way. It's possible, but if the arms are pinned, I'd much rather try to go this way, because if they're pulling inside, if they're pushing me forward, pulling me inside, I need to go away from the pressure, away, not towards it, because that could create a different scenario as well, okay? All right, so same thing, arms in barrier, walking forward, coming out, okay? From here, I still have the wrist. Immediately, I want Megan to follow through with our strike. So she's gonna grab my arm as it comes through. This hand's gonna come up, popping in the face, or underneath the chin, or if they got a beard, whatever, okay? The beard doesn't protect against most things, okay? So, instead of chopping, if we go back to my the first one I made, where you're striking up and in, instead of straight like this, straight knife hand strike. Here, come up this way, same thing. So she's hitting my jaw and my throat as she's coming in. You don't have to do this, we're just following the pattern. You could grab the face, you could go for the eyes, you could grab my beard, you could grab my hair, you could smack me in the face this way. It doesn't need to be upward strike, you can punch, you can do whatever you want with that hand. It's just we're following pattern, okay? All right, a little faster. Here, palms up, following through. Now, if I have my hands here, I have no resistance to her pulling hand, go ahead. There's no real resistance for the pulling hand this way, because my arm's going across, it's not going away, or it's not like, if Megan tries to let's say, pull my arm this way, I have resistance, I have my muscle resistance this way. But if my arm is going across my body, she has a stronger pull than I do resistance. So it's not very hard for her to be able to. And even if it wasn't a much bigger person, she can move her body to her hand, okay? So what I mean by that is, as Megan steps out, her body can just kind of shift, go ahead, shift into that. So it doesn't need to be like a pulling method, but it's faster if you do, if you're able to pull. But she could bring herself in to capture the arm if necessary, okay? All right. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we follow through with 3, which is, if you remember, extension of the punch, straight punch and fixed stance. Okay, go ahead. Following through here. This we're using to capture the arm, and we're locking ourselves in. This could be used as a punch, a push on the head. Good. She can push my head away, grab my hair, anything like this to control. My ears, anything like that. Beard, yeah. Okay, so now we're just going to move on to the next. Okay, go ahead. Carrying through here. Okay, we're just going to either take them down to bail. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now this is where we disengage. So Megan can either knee or do whatever, but right now we're just going to get away. Okay, pushing it away from the opponent. Move on. Get help. Moving on. Okay? When we're in the third position, 3, here. So here, if Megan used the pushing hand on my head instead, or, like I said, grabbing the beard, grabbing the hair, grabbing whatever, she can disengage instead of punching me or locking my arm in place or anything like this. Go ahead. And drive it this way. So she can create distance to get away from the person. Okay? So now we're going to do a few speed runs. Make it a little bit quicker. And the best ones is 1 and 2. 1 and 2, expansion and capturing. That's the best variation to flow together. Then you're going to need to work on combining 3. You can make number 3 as varied as you want, whether it be pushing away, capturing the arm, punching in the face. You can change it up however you feel comfortable. If you feel like you need to disengage, disengage. You want to continue with the throw or the takedown or at least the pin, then you can flow with that as well. Okay? So 1 and 2 is the main. 3 should be added on as soon as you have 1 and 2 down. So the main 2 focuses are going to be get away and hit. You can escape however you want, or you can follow through with the lock. That's up to you how you want to train. The best situation for actual self-defense is to get away as fast as possible. As soon as you break and strike, you can bail, you should bail. Okay? So, most important pieces I would say is 1 and 2. So practice those, let me know what you guys think. This was Boonhae, Hosinsul Practical Applications for your patterns. Part 5 for Won-Hyo. Thank you guys, I'll see you guys next time. Now go train.